For this review, I'm going to focus on three specific areas that students usually have difficulty with, but please keep your study guide close. Make sure you know all of the concepts on the study guide. So first, let's play Name That Theory. So there are the three theories. So you'll be given a scenario on the exam and asked to identify which theory is being described. So you're going in for an operation, you're feeling scared, you decide to hum your favorite hymn. So what theory is alluded to in this scenario? The choices are James Lange body theory, Cannon-Baird or cannonball theory where everything happens at once, or the two-factor theory. So you're going in for an operation. So really think this through. Put me on pause, and when you're ready, go to the next slide. Okay, so the answer is this scenario is explained by the James Lange body theory. So you hum your hymn, you start to feel better. Basically, what's happening in your body is impacting your emotions. If I can get my body to do it, I can get my emotions to feel it. All right, next one. You don't feel like smiling, but you smile anyway. So which theory would account for the fact that you start to feel better? Pause. So this is also the James Lange body theory. How about you have to go shoe shopping? I personally hate to go shoe shopping. So when I go shoe shopping, I decide to do some dance moves on my way to the store. I start to feel not so bad about shopping for shoes. What theory is this? That's the James Lange body theory. So I put them all together so that you could maybe see the pattern. So James Lange basically says if you can change the body, then you can change the emotion. How about this one? I'll give you a second to read it, or just pause to read it. You're at the park on a date. You've been thinking about breaking up. You see a snake. When you get back to your apartment, you decide to get engaged. So which theory of emotion is being described here with this scenario? Put me on pause. That's the two-factor theory. So what are the two factors? Factor number one is usually the chemical presence in the bloodstream. The second factor is the context. So in this instance, the chemical would probably be something like adrenaline, because you see the snake. The context would be you're on a date, and so you would misinterpret the physiological experience as being passion or interest in this person that you previously wanted to break up with. How about this one? Give you a second to read it. You're given a dose of Ipecac by accident when you ask for cough syrup. You immediately leave for the movies. You hate the movie, but I'm trying to infer that it's basically a good movie. Other people like it, the critics like it. So what theory is being alluded to here? So those are the pivotal clues. It's two factors. So what are the two factors? Factor number one, the chemical. Factor number two, the context. So the chemical here is Ipecac, and the context is that you're in a good movie, but you feel so sick, you don't like the movie. Okay, one more. Which theory is alluded to here? You find this sort of creepy looking firefighter who comes to save you. You think he might be the one. Basically, we're describing again which theory. So this would be also the two-factor theory. What are the two factors? You're having a bunch of adrenaline because you're scared. You see this person, he saves you, and so the context is you get saved. The chemical is adrenaline. All right, so those are the two factors. All right, so let's switch to some different questions. We're not going to talk about the three theories of emotion anymore. Also, the Cannon-Baird theory is I want you to think of that as the cannonball theory, where everything happens at once. The stimulus directly impacts emotion and directly impacts physiology. So that's not as complicated. All right, so here's a question you might encounter. Pause and take your time. So let me highlight a few important elements here. What other pathway are we influenced by in our feelings about life other than conscious thought? Also, the pivotal word here is conscious. So how would you respond to this question? So the other pathway other than conscious is unconscious. Here's another question. What's the difference between fast and slow pathways in terms of making decisions? Pause. So the fast path goes straight from the thalamus to the amygdala. It does not consult with the cortex. So the cortex is for higher order thinking. It's all of that convoluted pink stuff around the limbic system. Looks like a sponge there. The cortex is consulted in slow thinking. All right, one more. Selinger. This is a frequently missed item on the exam. So Selinger had internal, external, stable, unstable, global, and specific. Make sure you understand what those are. Which one is correlated with happiness? Let's take the first one. Internal or external? That would be external. So not thinking that you are responsible for everything, but having an external focus is associated with happiness. Next one, stable or unstable? And the answer is, it's the unstable. So stable would be thinking that this situation is going to affect me forever. It's always going to be like this. It's completely stable. Versus unstable is believing that, things could change. Next one, how about global or specific? Which one is associated with happiness, according to Selinger? And the answer is specific. So global means it affects every area of my life, and specific means it just affects this area of my life. So those are the aspects of happiness according to Selinger: an external locus of control, an unstable attribution, and a specific attribution. All right, thanks for watching. There is going to be a bonus recording this week. We're going to talk about thinking fast and slow and your thalamus, but you'll have to tune into that separately. All right, thanks for watching.